Hey guys, this is Cyrus of Chaos. I'm here with Lorenzo Roma, and today we're going to be talking about the bout between Guban Gil from South Korea and Szilagyi Aron from Hungary in the finals of the Luxembourg Grand Prix. Enjoy. Have you fenced either of these guys before?
Fortunately not.
Okay.
I would like to, but I think it will finish 15-5 to be optimistic, so I don't know.
Yeah, I fenced them both. I actually the first two times I fenced Gu, it went really well, and then the second and third time he destroyed me. I don't know. Have you seen the video where Gu hits me in the balls?
No.
I'll, I'll send it to you later. It's ridiculous, but yeah, it's just like watching him. You know that he has a really long lunge, and you plan for it, but then he hits you with it anyway because it's even longer than you thought it was.
Yeah.
So with him, you have to you have to make a really strong fake and then just get out as fast as you can. And it's hard because if you go back too early, he'll just keep pushing you. So it's very difficult to defend against him.
And I imagine that his fencing is also based on that thing, so he can, I don't know, reprise the attack very fast because he's used to people who try to make him fall short.
Yes, his attack is so strong. And then he's also, because he knows you need to go fast to stop that, he's really good at stopping in the middle and pulling you short. And his pulls look really effortless. And when you're fencing him, it feels exactly the same, like when he's about to start his attack and when he's going to pull you backwards. So it's really hard to I don't know, he's just really hard to fence. Probably the hardest person I've ever had to fence in my life.
And I guess that if I fence against Szilagyi, I would have lost my, I don't know, bravery, because, I don't know, he would have started pairing things that I didn't imagine could be paired, and I would have just gave up, I don't know, given up.
When I fenced him, my plan was just to not let him parry me. So, and then I decided I was going to go from there. And when I fenced him, that actually worked really well. So I just, on defense, I was like, I'm just going to let him attack me and see what happens, so I don't have to fight him in the middle. And if that doesn't work, I'll change. But when we fenced each other, he just couldn't attack me. So I just kept doing that. And then when I was attacking him, I just made sure that I didn't get parried. And that whole strategy worked really well for me.
It seems a good strategy because he's really counting on parrying. So if he doesn't, you know,
and yeah, and with Gu, he's so good at holding on his long attacks. So in the past, Szilagyi has had a hard time parrying him too.
Yeah, also because he counter parries. I've seen him a lot counter parrying.
Yeah, Gu never drops his hand, so he's always ready to do a counter parry.
Yeah, like both fourth and third, and counter parrying third is so difficult.
Yeah, it's hard. He's so good at it.
Yeah, I remember that my coach taught me how to counter parry fourth, and watching Gu, because of course I wasn't that good, but I kind of learned, and it helped me a lot in some matches because some people just automatically from fifth or third try to hit you on fourth automatically.
Right, they don't watch, they just do it quickly.
Yeah, and if your reflex is to quickly parry fourth, you make them, I don't know, crazy. They don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then he did it once in this match.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see in a minute. Ready to start?
Let's start.
There's Szilagyi went for the parry that we were talking about.
Yeah, and now he's doing a pretty good attack.
Yeah, he is. So Gu's Gu on defense would rather kind of do what you were talking about, what you were doing in the finals of Junior Worlds. Just kind of wait and see if he can make you make a mistake and just do a little bit of stuff to kind of provoke you. But for the most part, he just sits at a good distance and tries to find an opportunity to counterattack or to pull.
Yeah, it looks he doesn't believe that much in defense.
Yeah, but despite that, it's actually really strong.
Yeah, fortunately, yeah, never.
And there was the counter parry you were talking about.
Yeah, this was a good counter parry.
And it's like you were saying, sometimes when people get parried or get a parry, their reaction is to just automatically go to a certain line. But Gu never drops his hand, so it's easy for him to parry.
Yeah, and I think Szilagyi Szilagyi was a bit mad about it.
Yeah. He always looks annoyed whenever he gets hit, though. And that right there is so hard to do with Gu. Because when you're not forcing him to finish, he just kind of holds a lot and is able to see around your parry really well.
Yeah, he looks so good at it. He also did a nice provocation after to make Szilagyi fall short and then put his chest behind and make Szilagyi miss.
On this touch?
Yeah, this touch. Right now, yeah.
Yeah. His pull was a little off balance, but the timing of it was so good that Szilagyi just missed immediately.
Yeah, I noticed that he uses a lot like the upper part of the body, and like a lot of people say to stay with your shoulders
Forward.
line.
Yep.
With your, he doesn't care kind of, but it works really well with him, and also with O. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I've seen him do that a lot. Because with them, their fake is so strong that they're really confident that they're going to make you miss. The advantage to having your shoulders forward is if your opponent doesn't miss and keeps going, you have a backup plan of being able to be on balance on defense. But Gu is so confident with his provocation that he doesn't care about that.
Yeah, it's just completely different from other fencing types.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing how well it works. Oh my god. I can't believe he parried that. Totally off balance and somehow got it anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll skip ahead because that was definitely a parry. And again, Szilagyi's a little bit late.
I think Gu is attacking a lot, and Szilagyi is thinking that the right situation, that the right counter tactic is defending, but he just doesn't seem to have the right timing to stop him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just attacking without minding about Szilagyi's provocations
and Gu is really good at making his first couple steps look very aggressive but not actually take that much space. So it makes you think he's about to do, I don't know, it kind of screws up your feeling of his distance. It makes it hard. And I think here Szilagyi thought Gu was about to make a long attack, but he definitely wasn't. And that's all a function of the footwork.
Yeah.
He's just so unbalanced. I don't know, his footwork is really, really good. A lot of the time, people praise people like Szilagyi for their footwork, but Gu's footwork is actually amazing.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, exactly. It is different, but it's still really good.
And they have, like Koreans have kind of sensibility to change the lunge. For example, if they're lunging to attack and preparation, but in the end the opponent it was like provocation to make them fall short, they realize that while they're lunging, and they make the lunge much bigger.
And they can stretch.
Yeah, they stretch a lot. So, but it's like a reaction they have with like the moment they're lunging, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's also very difficult to deal with. You need to make your provocation really well, and then you need to get out really far.
Yeah.
Yeah, Szilagyi just can't quite figure out the timing to affect Gu right now. Would you try going a little faster? Because Szilagyi off the line has been a little bit slow the last couple touches.
Yeah, I guess he's going to kind of change and try to attack more, if I'm not wrong. And he's going to be more confident because of one or two touches. And I think he's going to like enter like a wheel of tactical wheel.
Yep, the tactical wheel.
Yeah.
So they called that attack no. I actually thought that was Gu's touch. What did you think?
Well, let's see again. I just don't know. Okay, I think at first sight, yes, but then I think he took too much space in the middle, and Milinchev just thought it was attack no from Gu, and privileged Szilagyi that was going to defense, while Gu, I guess, thought about attacking and then realized that it wasn't the right thing to do, so he just stopped in the middle, but it was too late. I think this is the interpretation, but I don't know. It's kind of a difficult touch.
Okay, so what you're saying is Gu wanted to attack but stopped. So even though he started again first, you think his first one missed? At least that's what Milinchev thinks.
I think that, I don't know. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think the call is fine either way, as long as the referee is consistent, so you know what they're calling.
Yeah, but at the first sight, it really looked like it was Gu's touch for me.
Me too, but they kept it, so... So they did change that one.
Yeah.
So it looks like Szilagyi is challenging Gu's attack by coming in a little bit deeper in the box, which gives him less time to react.
Yeah, I think it's a great strategy because the first one wasn't working that much.
Yeah, and now suddenly Gu seems like the one who is behind.
Yeah, and he didn't even realize that it was so quick.
Yeah. So they both really haven't had much success parrying in the middle. I think they've both tried it twice, and Szilagyi got it once, but then got counter parried.
Yeah, so Gu, I think he just tried the wrong parry because he tried to parry third, and I guess he usually tries to parry third, but maybe, I don't know, Szilagyi set it up, and he didn't think about like touching on the third.
Oh, just as we say that, there's a parry. So let me see the provocation for that again.
Okay.
So Szilagyi starting very quickly, and so is Gu, but then Gu just like stops completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, I guess Gu kind of realized Szilagyi was attacking more and did the right thing.
Yeah, that was a really nice pull.
Yeah.
And the key there is it looks just like the beginning of his attack normally. So Szilagyi thinks it's still an attack.
Yeah, but Szilagyi is one that does this to
Yes.
a lot preparations to do different actions and different preparations to do the same action.
It's true.
And this was just okay. Now he's charging himself. And now he will make something that just Szilagyi.
Ooh. He pulled Gu short twice there. So the key is in the beginning, when you want to make Gu short, you have to make a strong provocation, and then you really need to move, because his foot is down, but he's going to keep going. And it's hard to tell, but that probably almost hit.
Yeah. For sure, it was very close.
Yeah. You really have to work hard to pull Gu.
Yeah, I've never fenced him, as I said, but I guess it would have really been a big problem to do the right preparation with the right timing and quickly step backwards a lot and making miss. I don't know if I would have. Probably not.
Yeah, these guys have gone back and forth for years, but the last few times they fenced each other, Szilagyi has beaten Gu. I don't think Gu has beaten Szilagyi since 2016. So he definitely has a good idea of what to do against him now.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people, like, they just can't win against Szilagyi, even if they're really good fencers. And I don't know, it's just, I think he has a kind of really particular type of fencing, and if your type of fencing doesn't fit with his type of fencing, you're just not going to win.
Yeah, it's very hard. I think the people who have a really hard time with him are the people who just try to react. Because he, like you were saying before, he has so many different actions off of each preparation and so many different preparations for each action that you can't just watch him and try to pick something based on that. You have to just choose to do something and just do it. And maybe it won't work, but at least then you'll be able to set things up for later. But if you just try to react, he'll just take advantage of that over and over.
Yeah, I didn't think about it, but it seems really good thought, yeah.
Yeah, when I fenced him, I was like, I'm not going to react to anything. I'm just going to choose and just go. And that seemed to work, so.
Yeah, because his fencing, now that I think about it, it just based on that. Yeah.
So that was an interesting one. Szilagyi jumped in really deep and tried to draw a short attack from Gu, but put himself in a bad spot here. Because he's
just ready to react, and
yeah, and it looked like a good idea from Szilagyi, but Gu handled it so easily.
yes. Here.
It's actually a really nice touch. Oh my god. That's also kind of annoying, because Gu actually does that a lot, and I'm not sure that he is doing it by accident.
Oh, yeah, probably not, but I don't think he gets hurt a lot, because I think he's kind of used to doing it.
Yeah. So one of the things that you can't do with Gu is you can't just do any first intention actions. So this Szilagyi's just moving back and just tries to counterattack, and Gu just handles that so easily.
Yeah. So the strategy strategy I told in the previous video, I think it would have probably brought me to those 15 nail against him.
Yeah, Gu's just so ready when he does that reprise action. Just so fast after the middle.
I think this thing that Gu is so fast to reprise the attack makes his opponent, I don't know, if I were the opponent, I just wouldn't know what to do because it is hard to step backwards and make him fall short. And at the same time, if you do it and you do it like 1 second before, he reprises the attack so fast, so it's just, you don't know what to do. I would probably try to do some attack on preparation to make him come and then do attack on preparation, but at the same time, he's so good at knowing one step and lunge, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's very difficult. If it was easy, more people would beat him, but even when he's not fencing well, it's still really hard.
Yeah.
And here's that touch one more time. And a lot of it comes from his balance, like we were saying before. He comes in here, and he is just perfectly in a position right there to go backwards or forwards. And if Szilagyi's not threatening him, he just starts going forward.
Yes, that's right.
That was almost the same touch the other way.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see two good fencers both fencing really well.
Yeah, it kind of seems normal, but actually it's like they know each other, but probably with a just not that well-shaped fencer, they would have beaten him without any problem.
Yeah. That was a great stop cut.
Yeah, it's the second time he does it. Probably he saw something in Gu's attack, like a mistake that Gu does, and he's taking advantage of that.
Yeah, the thing is, when Goose starts his lunge, it's like you were saying, they're so good at holding their arm on their lunge that he kind of like puts his arm a little bit ahead of the rest of his body, and so at that moment you can counterattack him, and I think that's what Szilagyi did, or that's what Szilagyi saw both times when he got the counterattack.
Yeah, and it's a really clever thing too. And also after counterattacking, obviously you try to touch the opponent before the previous times, so it's easy for the opponent to parry.
Yes, finishing shorter.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Wow, another counterattack.
Yeah. The same thing the other way. But it was a crazy counter parry.
Yes, it was. And he looked so calm afterwards. Like normally, when you get a counter parry, your adrenaline is so high that you just want to swing immediately. But he didn't. He saw Gu was too far away and just stopped.
Yeah, now he was ready, but then he didn't miss the attack. But I also really like, even if he's touched now, if he has been touched now, I really like the kind of attack he did. Like from down, he really hard to touch from down to up.
Oh, under the arm. Yeah, yeah. That's your favorite kind of attack, right?
Yeah, it is.
And part of it... Go ahead.
I would have also loved the Korean attack, but unfortunately, I was not Korean, so I don't have that elasticity, and I don't know.
So, elasticity, good word. So, the reason that you like to finish under is because it's more of a commitment to parry it, right?
Yeah, it is more like the reason it doesn't exist, especially under the fourth, it doesn't exist specific parry that they teach. It just exists like down fourth. If you parry down fourth, it's okay, but it's just something people don't do much.
Yeah.
So for the beginning, it's really good because they don't, I don't know, from my experience, they just don't realize it. And as I was saying in the previous video we did together, it's also that in the middle, if you attack with your arm back, just down, it's, I think, I don't know, but I think for what I've seen, that it's more hard to be
hit in preparation?
Yeah, maybe because you're more ready to finish the attack, or just because of a sensation of the referee, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the second one because, well, it might be both, but I think from my perspective as a referee, the angle of the arm makes it look like you're already finishing because the cut is coming like up. But if you are finishing from high line, you have to make the cut like kind of back and then forward.
Yeah, and then but the kind of bad thing is it's harder to counter parry, I think, if you do it in the middle, because from backwards, I wouldn't know what counter parry if they parry first. But if parry second, for example, it's difficult to counter parry. It's more easy if the parry is fifth or fourth, but if it's second, I don't know.
That's the risk that you take. And if that starts happening, you can just start cutting somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about fencing. There's no perfect action, right? And everything that works well, there's like something that works well to stop it.
That's the reason why you have to think what your opponent is thinking, because as you said, nothing is like ever working. So if you just know what maybe your opponent has in his mind, you probably know what's the right action to do. But if you don't, you just go blind.
Yeah, and that's why having a strategy and just executing it is so important. Because if you are just on autopilot and do the same thing over and over again, the other person will start to catch on.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are at that thing. So I think now Szilagyi is making an aggressive preparation in the center and then holding his hand at the end. So here he's almost doing like a Korean lunge. Like his foot finishes first and then his hand goes afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. He's doing what Gu was not exactly, but he's being aggressive as Gu was at the beginning of the match.
Yeah.
And I think Gu just changed, and it was a mistake to change, because like it's easy to say it from the outside, but it's just what happened, because he was touched every time. Like they were close with the points, but then Szilagyi started this aggressive preparation and Gu started going backwards and didn't react that well to the aggressive preparation, and he just lost 4 points in a row.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to figure out what to do since then. Whoops. Same thing again.
Yeah. Sometimes I've thought about something that it sounded weird to me, but I couldn't do without thinking about it. Like that if sometimes you start the wrong way and you're down with the points, then sometimes it's an advantage. I thought, because sometimes you just change your tactics, maybe in the middle of the match, or with your trainer or something like this, with your coach or something like this. And when you change and you're like 8 something, and like it's harder for the opponent to change again. So if you change once, it's okay. Like a lot of people can do. So, but changing after having changed, after your opponent has changed again, it's a harder thing to do. So sometimes people that are in disadvantage with the points at the beginning of the match, I think they're advantaged at the end of the match.
Interesting. Because a lot of the time when you're in the break, if you're winning by a lot, the coach will just tell you to keep doing what you're doing. But the person who is losing will think about how they want to change things. So they come back in with a new plan, and the other person has their same plan, which might not work.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that, but that's a good observation.
But of course, sometimes it's just not true.
Yeah, it doesn't always work, but nothing does.
Okay, I think it was an unfair end to a good match.
Yeah, it was like a cheat point almost.
Yeah, I would expected this match like finishing with a second parry and I don't know.
So I just want to point out, I think the last 3, the last 3 touches in a row were exactly the same.
Yeah.
So Szilagyi does his aggressive preparation and finishes late with the hand.
He was, I think for Gu, everything was too fast to realize, I don't know. But he just changed his fencing. But of course, it's a merit of Szilagyi because he's becoming more aggressive.
Yeah. And this is something I always tell people. If you have an action that's working well against your opponent, keep doing it until they show you that they can deal with it. Because, I mean, it would have been easy for, like, Szilagyi did an aggressive attack where he was holding with his arm 3 times in a row. And maybe you'd want to start finishing shorter, but Gu is clearly reacting well to that preparation the way that Szilagyi wants. So keep doing it until Gu shows you he can stop you from doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so true. I think a lot of people, and I was with them, used to change without being touched, and even if the action was good. So it's so wrong because you gave an advantage to your opponent who probably didn't understand what you were doing.
Yeah. It's funny. I was coaching a girl who did the same. She was down 4-0, and she got attack and prep 4 times in a row, and then on the 5th touch, she did something different, and the girl tried to do another long attack. And I was talking to her afterwards. I was like, "Why didn't you hit her in prep again?" And she was like, I couldn't believe that she was going to make another long attack. But why not? She did it every other time.
Yeah, it's a mindset you have to have because you have to consider that your opponent is probably tired and he doesn't reason how it's normal to reason afterwards. So he probably wouldn't think about it and do the same action.
And sometimes also you find a good preparation that makes your opponent react really strongly. So this time, I think Gu may have been trying to do something different, but Szilagyi was doing something so well that every time Gu thought he could parry it. So he just kept doing that preparation, and until Gu hits me in prep, if I'm Szilagyi, I'm just going to keep doing that because he needs to show me that he can stop the action. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. And if you get like 6 or 7 of those in a row, and then he hits you in preparation once, you've still gotten a lot of good mileage off of that action.
Yeah. It happened. Like first, I heard. I don't know where does it come from, but I heard it. I'm sure it's a quote that says like against champions, doing the same thing twice doesn't work, but doing it 3 times it works.
I like that.
And yeah, in my experience, I sometimes when I was 14, I tried something completely different, like jumping and trying to like make my opponent be short-handed. But actually, the times I think I thought like this, usually I missed, and the times I did something brave, like but not brave like this, but brave like really thinking about it and like just waiting for my opponent and doing a long attack or trying to make him feel short if we are just like fighting in the middle. It like went well most of the times.
Yeah, 14-14 especially. Someone is expecting you to do like an easy action, like finish short or just take a quick parry or something. But if you do something like that, it a lot of the time will catch them off guard.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a really good bout. It's good to see Gu fencing well again. I don't think he's gotten a medal since like 2016 or something.
Yeah, but it seems he has the potential. He still has the potential. And it's great to see Szilagyi win this year again.
Yeah, he's always done really well at the Olympics. So it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see him going into the Olympics fencing really well again.
Yeah. So who are your favorite at the Olympics? Like who do you think? Of course, O and Szilagyi.
So I like O and Szilagyi a lot. I think Bazadze looks really good right now.
Yeah, he's very physical and probably at the Olympics he will do well, I guess.
And since he started working with Bauer, he's gotten medals at almost every tournament he's gone to.
Yeah, Bauer is a legend.
Yeah, he is. Obviously, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think all the nations he trained, they got like gold medals in the Olympics.
2004, it was Montano. 2008, it was Zhang.
Yeah.
And then 2012 was Szilagyi, so that was not Bauer, but
No, he was training
the Russians.
Russians.
Yeah. But still, really impressive track record.
Yeah. So impressive.
What about you? Who are your favorites for the Olympics?
Well, since my favorites, I think, yeah, of course, Gu and Szilagyi are, I think, the favorite to win. Also, HUN and Dershowitz. But I think also Sabre and Curatori are doing a great job. Of course, they're Italian, so I but I think they're doing a great job. So I would like to see them doing well in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Of course, Italian team, but I'm talking about people I like. They got medals, kind of a lot of medals this year. So.
Yeah, and Apathy looks solid too. He won his first World Cup last year, and since then, I think he's gotten 3 medals.
Yeah,
So.
I really like Apathy's way of fencing, and also he is so fair. He
acknowledges touches.
Exactly. That was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Very simple, very solid fencing.
Yeah, and also spectacular, because sometimes he's the one that, like, 14-14 does something very brave, and he actually wins the match.
Yeah. It's always better to take a risk. Strike out swinging instead of striking out looking, to use a baseball analogy.
Yeah. Baseball analogy.
All right, Lorenzo, thank you very much. I know this was a hard one because the internet kept going out.
Yeah, internet didn't help at all.
No, it didn't. But yeah, let me know the next one you want to do, and we'll do that. We have plenty of time because of the quarantine, so.
Yeah, of course. I have kind of a lot of time due to the situation, so it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.